Hi, this is Jason with BallistiXPro, and today we're going to work on making a competition clipboard. This is just some spare wood I had lying around, so I figured I'd use this, draw my little 6x9 on there, some round corners, and we'll be using some binder clips, some bolts, and some washers, just spare stuff I had lying around. A good tip when you are trying to find the correct washers and bolts is we all have our little cans of stuff, but it's easier if you have an empty can and a full can, so you can just take the parts from one, put it into the other while you're looking for the correct parts that you need. It just makes it a lot easier than dumping it out onto the floor and having to clean up a big mess later. So just thought I'd share that little bit of tip with you and get this sucker started. The first thing that we're going to need to do is just cut this out. Now you could either use, a regular circular saw, something like this, or even a table saw if you wanted. I'm choosing to use this saw because I just like it. And don't forget to unlock it before you use it. We are going to round these corners off, so I'm going to cut a diagonal on each one of the corners to get it started as well. Clipboard. What we're going to do next is we're going to switch to a Dremel tool to get those corners rounded. Now you could use a router to do the same thing and get the edges real smooth with a nice router blade, but I'm just opting to do it a little bit different. You might not have a router at home, so I'm just giving you another way to do it. You could also just use some regular sandpaper and work it out yourself. Take a little bit longer, but at least it's doable. So let's get this sucker done. That Dremel tool makes pretty fast work of rounding those corners. So now we're going to put a little angle on these. And that rounded bevel is just so you don't end up, you know, cutting yourself or hurting yourself on square edges. You know, and it makes it a little nicer looking too, so that's kind of why I wanted to do that. And now what I'm going to have to do is go over the whole entire thing with some real thin, you know, some real fine sandpaper to get it nice. So I'll get some of that and do that in a second. So all I really had laying around the garage was some 120 grit sandpaper, but it'll work nonetheless. Okay, so now we have a nicely smooth and sanded base of our clipboard. It's not going to cut you, it feels real nice, and just real easy to do. Maybe a little more sanding right there, but other than that, do that real quick and we'll get some holes drilling on this thing. Good. And typically, this part you would probably at this point want to, you know, paint it or stain it, however you're going to do it. But I'm just going to do the holes first so you guys can get an idea of how to make this. You can paint and, you know, stain, do that in any order that you really choose is best for you. Hold on, let me get my drill. I'll be right back. You may also want to measure your drill holes for center as well. So I'm just going to get this as close to center as possible. That right there. And we're going to do one on each side, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. Take our drill, and let's see. Just like that. Check the hole to see if it matches the bolt hole, the bolt. And it pretty much does. It just needs a little finicking, you know, a little going in there, but it's pretty much a perfect match. I guess the right size. Pretty good at that. Okay. So it did come out the back a little bit and scour it, so we're just going to take a little extra sandpaper again and just get rid of these hard spots. Okay, that looks pretty good. Our first binder clip we're going to put at the top here, and of course that's going to be for holding our paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a washer, a small washer with a little bit of a bigger washer. And go down. And that way it can't slip out of this binder clip at all. And then on the back side, we're going to put another washer and the bolt. You got to get this in here nice and tight. So maybe we don't have enough room for both. It's looking like we don't. So we'll just use the bolt instead. And since I got a nice clean cut to it, it won't matter. I mean, you know, the drill hole. And then this will actually hold your paper. Now the reason we're putting this one in here is because during a competition, most of the time, you're going to also want to hold a pen or a pencil with you. Can't have a pencil in a competition, but you know what I mean. And so this one will act as a pen holder, really. The pen's, you know, you could do it like that, but a pen actually will, once you get the back off of it, you can use the piece to keep it there. Well, Bad example because that's a thicker pen. But anyways, still does the job, and you can still have your paper attached over here, your pen over here, and you got everything with you and you're not losing anything. Let's get this finished up. And after I thought about it for a little bit, I kind of like it actually hanging out like this. Because then you can still have my pen not all the way tight yet, so I can have my pen kind of on the side, and then I've got more room for my paper over here. Kind of makes that, actually kind of like that a lot better. Now give me your opinions, comments on that one. You can do it either way. And there is our final clipboard, minus the fact that we haven't stained it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to take this back apart, I'm going to stain it, and then I'll show you the final once I'm done. Okay, our clipboard has been stained and is now dry, and here is the final result. There's the front and there's the back. So when you take this to a gun competition, you can now have a place for your pen. Boink. Fits in there very nice, so you're not losing your pen. And there's your scorecard. Very easy to make. All you need is a couple of spare binder clips, a few spare parts from the your leftover bolts and nuts, and a little bit of wood stain and a spare piece of wood. And I did this in a natural color because this is less expensive wood, but it's also a harder wood because if you press hard with your pen or your pencil, you don't want to leave little divots in the wood, and then your writing will get messed up eventually. You want it to be nice and solid. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please give it a share if you would. We appreciate your support. Thanks again, and have a great day.